What is up, YouTube? It's Commander Nova 445, and I'm back playing Robot Daycare. Um, the it's a visual novel game. I'm pretty sure. It's just a lot of text and me reading. Sorry about that if I talk a lot too. Um, so far, the three college kids built a robot. And the robot wanted to learn about their friend Lilium, who had depression. And so far, what I got from it is that their friend, all three of them had a friend who had depression, and each of them had a different way of trying to help him. But they didn't agree on how to help them. So in their they were contradicting each other and coming at each other when they were really all on the same side, because they all wanted to help their friend. They all just went about it different ways and thought like, hey, this is the best way to help him. And so it led to arguments. And so far, we have talked to Sterlitzia, and Lee. And I'm assuming we're about to hear Lycoris's thoughts. So let's get back into it. Alright. Lee, why the hell is it naked? Huh? What? Pablo is a robot. Robots can't be naked. Hey Pablo, are you naked? Pablo is currently in a state of undress and thus naked. See? Betrayed by my own creation. Okay, but naked or not, what are you doing? I wanted to figure out what those processing noises were about and fix the issue. Huh? How? By disabling some unnecessary features. You were trying to show off a little too hard, Lycris. I know, I'm such an ass. How dare I want us to get a good grade? I was just trying to offer constructive criticism. Yeah, then what's the condescending tone for? I'm sick of your constant nagging, you know. And you're a pleasant little angel or what? I'll admit, I get irritated easily, but you seem to be in a foul mood regardless of what's going on. Nothing is ever right for you. Stop acting like you're the only one who's having a hard time. There, what's going on? Why are you yelling? Don't even get me started on you. You're only stepping in so you can see like the good guy, but you'll talk shit behind our backs anyway. I don't think we should be swearing in front of Pablo. It's a fucking robot. I made it. For all I know, for all you know, I could have installed any imaginable slur into it. All of us know what you really like. Your performative kindness is completely useless here. Okay, so I'm assuming Lee was minding his own business, and you just started drama out of nowhere. Pretty much. Doesn't that get old after a while? What's your problem, Lakers? Why are you acting like this? Shut up. What's that sound? Construction work. Don't avoid my question. What construction? It's past midnight. We're the only ones here. Guys, where's Pablo? He was sitting on the table just a second ago. How did y'all lose the robot? Oh, lies swearing scared it off after all. Get over yourself. Suddenly, strange droplets start to appear on the floor. Some splatters even land on the guy's shoes and pants. Confused, the young men try to figure out where they could be coming from. Once they look around the corner, both Pablo's location and metal noises' origins finally become clear. Pablo is standing next to a table and is repeatedly bashing its head against it. Upon closer inspection, it seems to be purposely lining up its face with the edge of the table. One of its artificial eyes is already beaten to a pulp, and blue liquid containing clumps of plastic and metal is flowing out of the now empty socket. With each thrust, more tiny places are scattered about. But that doesn't seem to bother Pablo. It's busy making its other eye reach the same fate. As the mass in its head is getting stickier, its movement is gradually slowing down. It is harder to move because it keeps getting stuck? Or is it losing power? It's difficult to tell. Why are you doing that? I didn't program that in. It's not my fault. Don't just stand there. Do something about it. Sterlitzia pulls Pablo away, firmly hugging it to prevent it from causing more damage to itself. But even though it has nothing to hit anymore, its head continues doing the same motion. Lee tries to stop it with force, but the small robot seems to be more powerful than expected. Stop! There's no reason for you to... Tears. What? Lycris winces when two black holes filled with mushy blue residue glances up at him. Pablo was taught that sadness causes humans to cry. So after Pablo heard you arguing for so long, Pablo wanted to replicate tears. So, who taught you that, Pablo? I might have accidentally... What on earth did you do to it? Lee cried in front of Pablo. Hey, I told you to keep that a secret. Pablo isn't programmed to follow orders strictly, but to find ideal solutions. Telling them seemed to be the best course of action. Sounds fake, but okay. Sounds fake, but okay. What are you implying? I'm implying you fucking faked it. Rubbed water on your face or whatever. Slow down with the conspiracy theories, will you? You really think he'd do that on the off chance that he could use it against us somehow? Ah, what a classic. In the end, you two always team up against me. It's always been like that. Isn't that right? Hey, watch where you're going. I could have dropped my cake. Whatever, I gotta get out of here. What's wrong? Is the central heating being weird again? Yeah, right. As if it isn't obvious. Don't tell me you had another fight with Lily. I told you to leave him alone. Your negativity is really the last thing he needs right now. I can't just let him live like that. Have you been inside his room lately? It looks and smells horrible. Come on, Lai. You're just overreacting. You're not his mom. Maybe we should actually get his mother over here so he starts doing something for a change. Lee already tried getting him to snap out of it, but he keeps just repeating, you don't understand me. And we really don't understand him, but a professional might, you know? We've had this conversation a million times, Lai, and we decided against it. You and Lee decided against it. I don't get why you keep denying how serious this is. It's not normal. He needs help. You're so worked up. Get some fresh air and cool down. I'll go talk to Lily. At least you're giving up on ignoring him. I wasn't ignoring him. He wanted to be left alone. Whatever lets you sleep at night, but go on. Talk to Lillian. Keep on hoping for a miracle that won't happen. Dealing with this is seriously exhausting. Maybe a walk will help me get my mind off things. I guess Lee isn't back yet. So yeah, that's what I'm getting at. So like, Lycris wants to get an adult or like a professional or his mom to come and help because he understands that like the three of them haven't really been able to help him yet. So maybe a professional might help. But the other two see it as Lycris just wants to push the problem off to someone else when that's not the case. Like all three of them have their own method to help him, and they see the other's method as like them just not wanting to help, when in fact they all want to help. And I'm sorry that I keep repeating this. I'll stop now and just keep going. Oh, and Stretchy left his cake in front of Lily's room. Hey, you okay in there? I want to apologize for lashing out like that earlier. Come on, don't sulk now. I didn't mean everything I said. Stretchy left you a cake. Why don't you try a bite? I'm gonna bring it in, alright? Lily, I gotta say, you're being kind of childish right now. Just let me in. I promise I won't scold you anymore. Hey, are you okay in there? Lily, please answer me. I guess I have no other choice. I'm sorry I had to come in like this, but you're not here? What the hell? Is this a joke? Licorice spots a note on Lulu's table. To my dear friends, I'm sorry that this is all I leave you with, but I can't do this anymore. Please don't worry about me. I'm in a much better place now. Lillian. What? So this was your solution? No way. Why would you? I will. See. Alright. So I don't know what the choices are going to go, but I don't like. So if he says I never forgive, like I feel like these choices are going to lead to either them just not being friends anymore, to the robot killing them all, or like they get over it. And I really want to go for an ending if there are multiple endings. I want to go for the best one. So saying I never forgive you would be him putting the blame on others, but never forgiving myself would be the one that leads him to, like, you know, then he realized that he blames himself. And I feel like also the never forgiving myself is the feelings that he actually would probably have, because Ian, it's not that he was blaming the others. He did want to help. So I feel like I never forgive myself. I had it all wrong. It's obvious to me now. That fight Lillian and I had was clearly the last straw. If I had been more understanding, I wouldn't have ended like this. But I blamed you guys instead of facing my mistakes. You're not the only one. It doesn't exclude your explosion earlier. I'm sorry, I won't mess up again. Pablo is our new friend, and this time we can make things right. You're right, we have an assignment to work on. Dwelling on the past won't give us good grades. Neither will those awful injuries. I can't believe we let that happen. Good thing only the eyes were damaged. Considering that I have spare parts, this should only take a few minutes. It's much better. How do you feel, Pablo? Pablo does not feel any different. However, the ability to see has been restored. Maybe we'll get a passing grade after all. Not so fast. Alicia still hasn't done anything, so we have nothing to hand in. Pragmatic, as always. But I guess you're not wrong. He hasn't done shit. What are we supposed to do, though? Teach Pablo about the power of friendship? Make him watch anime. Naruto. Or something. Black Clover. Fairy Tale. Power of friendship. I dare say this would be a scientific breakthrough. Hey Pablo, do you know what a friendship is? The definition is not in Pablo's databank. Should Pablo look it up online? Really? You're going to make a robot with your friends? You didn't bother to program? Never mind. Positive vibes. Let's try something else. Pablo, how do you feel about us? Pablo does not know the answer to this question. Stretzy, Lee, and Lai are Pablo's creators. Is there something similar to creators in your databank? Synonyms for creator found. Inventor, founder, god. I kind of like that. Absolutely not. Pablo, please continue. Maker, producer, parent. Parent, that's it. We three are like Pablo's parents. Isn't that right, guys? I feel a little too young to call myself a father, and I certainly haven't been a good one to Pablo so far. But besides, wouldn't that imply I'd be married to you two or something? Dude, it's not that deep. We all came together to create something beautiful. It's only natural we call ourselves its parents. Why are you looking at me like that? I just got shivers. Such an amount of sappiness is horrifying coming from you. Yeah, they do seem like good friends. How you actually managed to say that out loud is beyond me. It's because he watched too much anime. Let's go! You're the one who was talking about the power of friendship earlier. If anything, you're trying to sound like an anime protagonist. Pablo does not know what an anime protagonist is. It's just important information connected to being a parent. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because if you're an anime protagonist, your parents die. Either you don't have a father, or your mom dies in episode 1. That's how it works. Stolitia and Linkers start laughing while Lee tries to keep a straight face. He can't help but let out a snort. Pablo is waiting for confirmation. There's no correlation. Please forget we mentioned anime. Not so fast. Maybe watching anime will help it understand what friendship truly means. I told you! Make it watch anime. It'll learn what friendship, power of friendship. For example, there's this one episode of Lucio where... Please don't make me regret this already. Fine, I had my fun. But Pablo, how do you feel about us being your parents? Does this make Pablo your child? All three are taken aback by the question for a moment. Honestly, can that thing get any cuter? Pablo's not a thing. Well, at least not anymore. It's our little boy now. Who said Pablo is a boy? I named it Pablo. Pablo does not have a set gender. Oh, but does it mean we can pick one for you? Using it to refer to you seems kind of dehumanizing. It's not a human. You know what I mean. Pablo will react to any pronoun Lee, Stretzy, and I choose. How woke. I didn't expect you to program that in, Lycris. I didn't know that you'd make Pablo look like. It's not like I tried being politically correct or anything. It's not like I tried, Baka. Didn't think it was possible to act sooner about being called woke. Knew it. But seriously, which pronoun should we use? It. Keep calling it it. No. I named it Pablo, so it's a he. We're going with he. Yes. Fine by me. It's not like this changes how we treat him. Ah! What on earth was that? That was a yawn. My apologies. I'm very oh. I didn't yawn. I didn't know that was a yawn. Did Pablo yawn correctly? No. We in the business call that a scream. Oh shit, I'm an idiot. Ah! He's just so he did scream. Okay. I inherited from my father. I can't help it. But considering all the things we did and talked about today, I think it would be fair to call it quits for now. Yeah, I'm beat. I bet Pablo's feeling tired too. Pablo's energy is currently at 47%. Okay, maybe not that tired. I think we should all go to bed anyway, including Pablo. But he doesn't have a bed. Since we're calling him our kid, it would be weird if we made him sleep on the floor next to the power outlet. And why don't we let Pablo sleep in your bed, Lee? Pardon? Wasn't that what you were suggesting? That's ridiculous. Pablo would prefer charging while being cushioned by a mattress for increased safety. You're just gonna say no to your sweet little baby child? Alright, I suppose I have no choice. Good night, you two. Good night. Well, are you gonna say it back? Oh, good night. Kinda unlearned how to be nice and polite to each other, huh? Last time we exchanged good nights and good morning was when Lee was still around. True, I guess. But enough of that already. No more getting all sentimental in front of Pablo. Yeah, we know how that turned out. I would prefer having to fix him in such a manner ever again. Pablo apologizes for an aforementioned malfunction. A heavy wave of guilt washes over their stunning silence for a while. You don't need to apologize. It was our fault. Just go recharge now, yes? Pablo understands. Lee, please take Pablo to bed. While Leander voluntarily performs a tender smile as he takes hold of Pablo's tiny hand. It isn't giving off any heat, but he feels his heart warm up regardless. We're off then. Good night for real now. Sleep well, you two. Or in Pablo's case, charge well? I just call it sleep for simplicity's sake. Why don't you sit down on the bed already, Pablo? I'll fetch a charger from the supply box. Affirmative. Lee digs through the various cables inside the box while Pablo attempts to climb up on his bed. But unfortunately... Something wrong? The bed is too high for Pablo to climb up. Pablo requires assistance. How tall is your bed? How small is Pablo? I know they made him like a kid, but like, is he like 2 foot tall? Sorry, Pablo. I didn't even think about your height. Give me a second, alright? Setting timer for 1 second. Lee, it is time to help Pablo onto the bed. That's not what I meant by give me a second. What did Lee mean? It's a figure of speech. It basically means that you have to wait a little bit before someone has time for you. Understood. How long is a little bit? To find more than 1 second, I'd say a minute maybe. Pablo has saved the duration of a little bit as a minute in the databank. Good enough, but I'll have your charger now so you don't have to wait anymore. Leander tucks the charger under his arm and walks over to Pablo, lifting him up carefully and placing him on the left side of his bed. Thank you for the assistance, Lee. You're welcome, Pablo. Why is Lee smiling? Huh? Well, because I'm happy. What is making Lee happy? Simple. You are. How is Pablo making Lee happy? By just being here, I'd say. You're cute, and cute things make me smile. You're also kind of my child. Feels nice to have something to protect. Pablo is glad to make Lee feel positive emotions. I'm not strong enough for all that wholesomeness. You should recharge and nice to sleep. Let me tuck you in. Lee instructs Pablo to lay his head down on the pillows. He plugs one end of the charger into the power outlet next to the headboard and the other end into the port hidden underneath Pablo's shirt collar. Afterwards, Lee takes the softest blanket at the foot of the bed and tucks his robot child in lovingly. Are you comfortable like this? Pablo is cushioned properly. Risk of external damage while charging is minimized. Satisfied with the reply, Lee gets up and changes into his pajamas to join Pablo. Once under the same blanket, he begins to think back on everything that happened this day. Pablo recommends choosing standby mode or turning the system off for more efficient charging. Right, you can't do that by yourself. Likely should have included that functionality. Wait, I'm nagging again. It's going to be hard to unlearn. Why does Lee wish to unlearn nagging? Because it spreads negativity and makes others feel frustrated or sad, and well, you know what being sad can lead to by now, right? Sadness can lead to tears, harming oneself, and... That's enough. I didn't actually want to know. Noted. Is Lee ready to change Pablo's mode for efficient charging now? Oh yes, of course. Give me a second. Timer for 1 minute set. My bad. I'll do it right now. Lee sits up straight in the bed and shifts the upper body so that he can slide the blanket up Pablo. He unbuttons his shirt enough for the standby and the power button to be accessible, but instead of pressing one of them, Oriander finds himself lost in thought again. Listen, Pablo, I truly wanted to apologize for what happened earlier today. Please specify which event Lee is referring to. When you tried to cry. It's my fault you even thought of doing that, and it's also partially my fault you were sad. So, that is what I want to apologize for. Can you accept my apology, Pablo? Lee has nothing to apologize for. Pablo appreciates getting a chance to learn what it means to experience sadness and happiness. Happiness? Pablo feels happy now. It's nice that you could gain something positive from all this, Pablo. I think we all did in the end, even if the circumstances were rather rough. In some way, you also taught us something. Is Lee certain Pablo was built to learn, not teach? Considering that we made you, I think it's odd that you could teach us anything new. But without you, Lycoris, Strelitzia and I probably would have never forgiven each other. We probably would have never realized that we need to. It's what we owe to Lilium. Pablo is happy to help his parents. Parents, huh? Still feels unusual. Anyhow, for now we should finally sleep. Can I turn you off, Pablo? Yes. Alright then. Random figure hovers above Pablo's power button. Good night, Pablo. Good night, Lee. Pablo recommends sleeping for at least 7 hours for a proper rest. I'll try. Finally, the power button is pressed and Pablo shuts down. Leonard can't help but smile at the mix of emotions as he lays down again, closer to Pablo than before. Alright, I think this video, I don't want it to run as long as the last video, and it's already at 22 minutes is recording. So I'm gonna pop it off here. I like the game so far, so I'm gonna keep playing it. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. If you do, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new. I post content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you want, my Discord is in the description box below. You can join that too. My Twitch is also there. I stream occasionally. I don't really have a set schedule, so whenever, feel free to stop by. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!